And welcome to Adobe Live. My name is Flynn. Thank you so much for joining us, whether you're watching live or on demand. It's great to have you. We are back with Rames Harikrishnasammy. I'm going to introduce him in just 1 second. But if you did miss yesterday's live stream, it was fantastic. All about retouching and using some old school techniques blended in with some new AI techniques, and when and where to use the different techniques. And while there's still a lot of value in understanding everything that's going on in the background, as always, we all learned a lot. There were some great questions from the audience as well that we went through. So hoping for a little bit more of that today. Without further ado, Rames, thank you. Welcome back.
Hi, Flynn. Thanks. It's great to be back. Yesterday's stream was amazing. Managed to show varieties of different retouch through like landscapes, human portraits, robots that we're looking at right now. If you guys can see my screen, something that Flynn wants me to sort of like recap, because I'm not sure most of you know that there is this thing called history. Okay, how do you before we jump into today's stream, of course, this quick recap. You can watch the entire stream that was recorded yesterday. So there's this thing called window, and then you can go to history. So it's like Command Z, right? So that you can get to track all the changes they have done on the particular file. One of the things that I like about this history is that you get to snapshot each of the changes that you have done. For example, I already kind of have 3 snapshots ready. So what happened is that, imagine I'm working on this file, right? And then I sort of like, change the color. Again, I can do so. What if I want to track back? Like, for example, there you go. At one click, you get to see how I added the color lookup up there. And then what if I added some effects to it, which is right underneath here. If you focus there, you get to see the light because I've added the lens flare. So by doing this snapshot, it makes your life easier if you're working on any demos. You want to show your client right up front saying that, hey, so if you do this, you get this and that. And also it's sort of like done within that file, meaning you don't have to keep jumping to different files, right? Then you lose focus. Probably your client is not so much of the computers, and they'll be like, wait, where are you going? What are you doing, right? We have times like that. So you want to make sure that you use one file and you keep track of all the changes that you've done, which is perfect for demos and all that.
Yeah, it's great for demos. And as you said, like being able to quickly do a side-by-side comparison is really, really awesome. And it's also great to kind of have something and then kind of move on and see if it works in a different iteration. Yeah, very, very cool. And there is a link in this video to yesterday's video. So if you missed out, you can go down and click it, whether you're watching live now. I mean, stick around for this one and then go watch it. But yeah, if you're watching on demand, you can go and you can check that out too. But there's heaps to go through today. So I don't want to take up any more of your time. Should we jump into it?
Yes. I should close this file.
Thanks for showing us that again. I thought that was a really, really cool thing. And again, it's one of those really cool things about doing live stuff is just it's kind of like looking over the shoulder of another creator, and you can often pick up lots of little tips and tricks along the way. So yeah, thanks very much.
Thank you, Flynn. Okay, for today, we're gonna do something different. Okay, so I love creating arts that's based on like storytelling. If there's nothing that is sort of like storytelling, I feel like we are just working on a graphic that doesn't make sense. You gotta have concept art to it. There should be a storytelling. Without storytelling, you cannot just quickly jump into it and start working on it, right? Then you wouldn't know where is this going, right? Like what am I doing with this art? So today I thought it would be nice. Even though, okay, whatever you're seeing my screen right now looks complicated, trust me, within 50 minutes, I will guide you through on how to create a high fidelity concept art. And what's that mean? Imagine you are a person, again, you don't have to be a director of photography to do this, right? You can be just a designer that you want to sort of like showcase to your client. Hey, listen, so I know you said that you want to do a product photo shoot, rather than explaining like verbally, it can be a problem. Imagine there's a flare coming out from the side. What if like a flower petals falls on the product and all that? You probably imagining something else, and that client of yours will be like, okay, probably it was something else, right? Again, imaginations differs. And it would be nice to actually put it in a storyline. And how do you do that? Which is the reason why I'm here. So in order to look for inspiration, again, Pinterest is where I always go to, and also Behance. Here you get to see all the different screenshots, snapshots of a particular movie. The one we're looking at right now is from Dune, right? So I think they're releasing another one after this year or early next year. I can't remember. But I'm a big fan of this. Blade Runner is also another movie that I love because the visuals is just like you have to go to the cinema to watch it. So I am planning to do this sort of like different color scheme, like orangey, bluish, and whatever not, based on a certain timeline. So we're gonna get started without talking too much. Let's just get into it.
Cool.
And
so Dune is the inspiration for this one.
Yeah. So there's an inspiration for this. So there's a story, which once I'm adding in one by one, I'll tell you the story. It would be nice to do that rather than me telling you now, right? So we're gonna start with a landscape. So I dragged in a landscape. Oh, okay, before that, not sure if you guys know, you can create artboard in Photoshop, right? Artboard meaning I can create, it's not like file new and then you open without artboard. If I press on it, okay, I have a single file here, so I can keep creating new layers and get things done. But what if I want to have, another different canvas beside it? It's not possible because this is not artboard, it's a single file. So we want to have a storyboard. So in order to have a storyboard, you have to create file new, create a canvas. Right now I'm using a wider canvas, which is like 1080p, right? And then you have to turn on this artboard thing. Once you turn on, you get to see your layer will have an artboard. And if you want to have another one, you can just Command J or Control J, you get to have another one right beside it.
Yeah.
Now, the beauty of this is that each of this has its own layers, so it doesn't like mixed up. So it's all organized. So we're gonna start off with the first artboard first. Now I'm gonna bring in an image in here. So okay, my plan is to create 2 scenes. If can 3, but don't worry, I have it all ready. In case we short of time, I get to show you all the 3. Okay, it will be an interesting one. I promise you that. So I'm gonna start off with this landscape. So it's like nighttime. Let me enlarge this even larger. Okay, yesterday we also talked about what are the features like AI can help you in order to fasten the process. Like for example, I have this landscape. I can go in here and make this larger to fill in the entire space, or you'll be like, but I kind of like this zoomed out version. What if I want to fill in this area? We all know, just highlight the space that's available. And you just need to turn on the contextual bar here. It was missing because I was hiding it so that I was focusing on my work. Okay, there you go. And then all you have to do is generative fill without saying anything else. It kind of know that, okay, it looks like an empty space. You want me to just expand the entire background. Okay, so
while would you always do it this way rather than generative expand?
Well, it always happens after I know where to move things around. Right. For example, I don't automatically expand. I want to know where I want to position this particular background. Either I want to move it up corner. So that's my plan. Unless we already know, okay, it has to be full flash white, then that's when I'll be like, okay, generative fill it straight away.
Cool. Yeah. Great.
So we have this beautiful background and we already fill it in with expanded generative fill. Next, I want to bring in one of my main character. The main character is a cat. I'm sure if you all looking through the thumbnails of the Adobe Live, you get to see a stream where the thumbnail, there's an astronaut and cat, but that's just a teaser. I'm not going to do that, the exact image, but I'm going to create something entirely different. Now, when I say high fidelity concept art, meaning just a rough one, you can go detail as you want, but it's basically to just let your director of photography or your client say that this is how the movie gonna look like. There'll be a scene where the cat looking up to the sky, right? So of course there's a lot of like blending mode, but I'm gonna show you this one trick that I love so much. It makes my photo manipulation way easier, which is first I'm gonna of course crop it up, right? So just highlight the cat, and then automatically it will sort of know, okay, you want to crop it out. So we just mask it, and let's just make it a smart object. I'll tell you why. So that I don't want that particular masking. Okay, let me tell you why. Now, if you mask it and then you resize, I want you to look at the cat. Sometimes what happens is that you will get this very dirty line outside. It happens when you haven't make it a smart object. It's like the masking, right? The feature of masking is following as you resize. When it follows, it doesn't sometimes precisely sits exactly how I want it to be cropped. So it comes with an experience. But right now it looks fine. Sometimes it's not, but I think it's something that will get fixed. So what I do normally is I'll just make it a smart object. That's it. And I'll resize it, put it right on top of this particular stone. Now, as we all know, what is photo manipulation? You have to manually, I'll create a brightness and contrast. I'll make it right on top of the cat. I need to make it darker. As you all know, client don't wait. So in order to create something fast, what I'm going to do is, can you see on this contextual bar, there's a thing called Harmonize?
Yeah.
It is a game changer.
Yeah.
This is a game changer, not only for me. I've tons of testimonial from my friends, my clients as well. They're like, oh, how do you get things to do fast? But I was like, no, I do manually. But there is this button called Harmonize. So I'm gonna press on it, see what happens. So basically, it's analyzing that particular layer, which is the cat, and calculating the different lighting of the background and trying to change the color filter and color balance of the cat to suit that particular atmosphere so that it looks like the cat is a part of the image. Let's see what happens. Again, we have three different just look at it. Oh my
God. It's pretty amazing.
It is amazing. Now, yesterday I did say, now it have done its part, isn't it? Like, okay, great. So let's see all the three different variations. So this is number one. Press number two. There you go, the lighting changes. And then also this. And everything looks amazing. Now, I have to say that they have gone better. When they start introducing the Harmonize, I remember when they announced it on Adobe Max, I go in there and try. There was hit and miss, but now it's getting better. As we all know, there's always a better version of it. So we have a cat. Can you see how far we have come? Like literally, they create new layer for you. They didn't even touch the background. And there's a cat, and they create a new harmonized layer right on top without touching the cat, right? Yeah. So it makes our life easier. And now, like I said yesterday, AI will help you, but you can go in there and make things way better. Like you can go in, create new layer, zoom in, and you feel like, okay, thank you so much, AI, for helping me out, but I want to add more lighting. No, you can do so by pressing, look for the source of light. For example, I don't want to use white, I want to brighter blue, and I'll just change normal to overlay or soft light. Go to the cat. Again, of course, I want to sort of like overlay or soft light it around the cat. All I have to do is, can you see the cat underneath here? You just press on it so that you get the outline of it so that you don't color over it, over beyond the outline. And I can zoom in and I can add in the glow. By doing so, you make it look more 3D-ish. And there's like a focus. For example, I want cat to be visible enough, right? Again, what are we doing? High fidelity. We don't have to go that crazy, but still, to convince our director, okay, now let's say before and after. Pop, pop. Can you see that? Let me do time.
Well, I mean, it's almost done too well a job at harmonizing, right? It's kind of whether it was a cat or another rock or a tree that you've put in there, it's kind of, I mean, harmonized it. It's blended everything in perfectly. But like, if you're a photographer, that's the last thing you will want, is to have the subject to blend perfectly. So it's like, it's such an interesting first step, but then obviously now you want to bring back or artificially create all of the depth to get the eye on the subject, right? To make it pop.
Perfectly said. Yeah. So like you take a wedding photographer, right? Wedding photographer, all they want, the client want is can I be seen in this dark area? Because
Yeah,
I highlight, not the lake, right? The background is
totally.
the background. So that's when you can see like they put the flashlights, the I think they call it a radius light around the particular
Oh yeah.
couple, right? So yeah, so all that. So I have this, which is perfect. Now, what is this cat staring at? Is there something that's coming or gonna come up from the water? We don't know. Well, we know now. So I'm gonna put in a spaceship. Now, this is not landing on the lake. Well, I can if I want to, but that's not in the storyline right now. I'm planning to crop this out, so I can just select subject, let it select. Don't worry about the lighting at the back. I'm sure most of the time it won't get selected because it's very light, right? So let's just crop it, and I'll just make it a smart object. Oh, another trick here. Haha, I have to let you guys know. Sometimes when you do masking, when you go in here, you get these outline.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that can be a no-no because then you'll be like, great, now I have to go in there and clean one by one, right? So there's two ways to do this. Number one, go to filter, go under other, go under minimum. And now I zoom in. Can you see preview? Okay, preview before, after, before, after.
Oh yeah, it's pretty subtle, but yeah, I can see it.
Okay,
Yeah.
let me just zoom in one more time. There you go, preview.
Yeah, so it's that kind of aliasing, the anti-aliasing that's
Yeah,
happening around the edges.
yeah, correct. So in order to reduce or remove it once for all, just increase the radius. As you increase, okay, let's say this is 0. I'm gonna increase, you can see it's gone. It's perfectly gone. Okay, that's number one. There's another way to do this. Can you see select and mask up here? Press on it. And then we have this floating toolbar, which is amazing, I tell you. Can you see down here? There's actually shift edge. I want you to move the edge.
Okay.
And then it's gone. Then you just press OK and it's gone. All right. Now convert to smart object. Let's resize it. Let's put it up. Make it smaller. Okay, it's way up. So the cat sort of like looking at it. Now, one of the things that I like to say during my stream is that watch a lot of movies, go out there and see real life elements, right? Even in this picture, right? Even though it's a generated AI landscape, but still it kind of study the real algorithm of a distance. For example, whatever that is very close to you tend to look darker, but whatever there's further away will look lighter. That's how it is. Even if you go to any mountain range, you see whatever that's around you looks very intense. As you go, because of the fog and clouds and everything, tends to look lighter. So now this is further away, right? So I need to adjust that light. And how am I going to do that? Very easy. Yesterday we covered all this. We're going to do that today as well. But what I didn't cover is under FX, which most of the time people think is for like fonts and everything, but no, you can use it for any objects. Go to color overlay or even satin, right? So what satin works is that you can see a preview here. So it adds an overlay on top of your imagery, but yet the blending can be done here, right? So I just want normal, and I want it to match a color from this particular atmosphere, right? I can't choose black. It's just too much. I still want people to see this particular spaceship. So what I do is I move this down. Remember I told you there's a range. So this particular spaceship is not further away up here. It's in between this distance. Am I right?
Right. Okay.
So I'm gonna just select that color. There you go. You can see it there. And then what happened is that you can actually adjust it by moving this down. Okay. Now, if you feel like, oh no, I still want to see details of the spaceship, it's up to you. All you have to do is just decrease the opacity. You can zoom in so that you guys can see it, and then you do this. right? See, I did not, on my layer, I did not add another new layer and add in color. I control everything through Smart Object. Okay, that is good enough. All right, it's coming down. And what happened if it's coming down? So what's happening? Why is it coming down? We need some effects. Let's throw in some effects.
Yeah, we're crashing.
Yeah, we are crashing. So now what I'm doing is, so the file came in like that. I'm rotating to follow exactly the angle of the spaceship. And yesterday we did this, the blending mode. These are God's given, I would say like effects. This is crazy. So as I move down, yesterday what we did was, whatever that's black background, through screen, you can remove it. But for white, of course, the other way around, which will be, we can use multiply or even color burn a bit too much. So I have this. I am gonna zoom in, go there. I'm gonna move the smoke right behind the spaceship, just like that. Okay, cool. Maybe rotate it slightly. All right. Okay, one thing you guys notice, right? When I work on my canvas, you will see the final image, but you will never know that, this is how it's done that fast. Because people tend to overcomplicate in mind, like overthinking, oh, I don't think so, I can do it. Where else anybody can do this? There's no, like, it's just go in there, add in some effects, set in, I didn't even go there and color, right? As long as you have the right stock image, which is available everywhere, you can do this. And of course, we need some flicker lights, right? So I have this beautiful flicker lights, which I am gonna remove the black background through screen, resize it, and then go up here, and then do this as sort of like, something happened. And you see, without these effects, you need to, there wouldn't be a nice storytelling. It's just spaceship and it's coming down. There's no effect. If you watch movies like the lens flare, the Star Wars movies, it plays its role, right? It gives a better context. So if you notice, the flare is like, okay, it's there, Ramesh, but I can't see it much. My client, my director of photography will be asking, oh, what is that exactly? So you want to amplify it, just Control J or Command J, just do that, right? So it looks like, okay, cool. Now the flicker is happening, and we're going to bring in one lens flare that I used yesterday. Again, I love reusing items. Remove the background using screen, resize it, bring it back at the back of the spaceship, like that. Something happened, like a fire or something, it's coming down. Now what's happening is that it's like there is more effect. As you add effects, it tells a better story. It's all layer by layer. There is no magic, right? And then I sort of have one more light. I call it screen. And then what if there is actually a light in front? Again, what is this light? So another perspective to look at. This is just a spotlight.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Then
I was going to say, it's like a stage light.
Yeah. You just need to imagine, where else can I put this, right? Well, I can put it as a spaceship's front light. So go in there. Okay, there's a new trick that we're going to learn now. So if you look at this spaceship, okay, I put in there, and then it's falling down. Oh, there's some light. What if you feel like, oh, the light it's not panning in the right way, right? Need to be distorted. All you have to do is same layer where I say light, Control key, and then right click this. These are amazing effects, right? Things that you can rotate and look for distort. And then you can manually, all the spin now can be modified. So I move this, and I bring it closer, right? By doing so, then you will look more realistic and going down. So, and also reduce the effect of the light so that the focus is more towards the fire. Okay, so something is falling down. The cat is like, okay, I wonder what is that? Okay, I sort of like done, I think, with my first scene. Now, one of the things that I love to do, even Flynn know that I love this, is that color is super important. how do you drop a color where, okay, fine, I'm getting there, but I didn't get the contrast, and everything. Now, color lookup. It's a must to have.
My favorite, yeah.
My favorite too. And here, these are amazing. I rarely use some of it, which I'm grateful today I can able to use one of this. It's called the crisp.
Oh wow, yeah.
So what's that mean is that it amplifies the entire details. Now you can see the focus better. That's why in movies you get to see, like Flynn said, right? Like there's a person coming. How do you make sure the person is visible? Sometimes they put fog at the background, soft light at the background. So that's what we're doing. So this is it, like literally with one click. Now, if you want to go crazy, you can. There are a few other effects that we can use, like night and everything. It can be too dark, but again, they have different treatment to it, right? You have this sort of like very Instagram-like, Kodak-like.
Yeah, it's like a sharp, really sharp kind of and vibrant kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're really fun to play with at the end of a like when you're creating a scene. Like, because it can dramatically change things.
Yeah.
You think, I thought I was making a nighttime scene, but actually I really like that Kodak version. Maybe I'll tweak it so it's more of a daytime thing, or all sorts of stuff. It's fun.
Yeah. And also, it's not going in and changing each one of this. It's just putting filter on top, and it will calculate the depth of all the different images and then putting it in a different way, right? Like a faded, this can be probably what do you call, like a history. It's giving history, sort of like what happened 10 years ago or 100 years ago. Okay, so but I love just now one, which is the crisp winter. So this is cool, and I love this. I should keep this.
What this reminds me of quite a lot is there's some artists or people that go to a thrift shop or like a secondhand store and buy artwork and then paint, and then kind of paint in kind of modern things. Like they'll paint SpongeBob in it, or The Simpsons, or or do their own kind of artwork around, like in a someone else's hand painted. This reminds me a bit of this. That could be a fun stream actually. We should find some like Creative Commons artwork, and then we could like put some, like, Ramesh it up and change the whole concept.
Oh, love that. That's nice.
That would be cool.
Okay, so done with scene number one. We are on track, I believe. Okay, so this is number one. So I talk about artboard, right, just now. So let's say you worked on it and you feel like, okay, next, I'm ready to do another scene. All you have to do is press on artboard. You will get pointers like this. It's like, some people love to go like left to right, maybe bottom down and whatever not. So I love going left to right. So by pressing this, automatically it will create artboard number 2. Okay, so we are going to create artboard number 2. All right, so I should save this just in case. Okay, cool. Now, new layer. Let's go in. Now, this is what, probably 20 minutes or so, we created this scene. And I would love to go back and show you guys again, very quick one before I forgot. We have come this far by just going in here and removing all this. Yeah, and we did that like less amount of time. One scene is done. As long as like I said, the story at the back of your head. Okay, there's a cat, there's a spaceship, there's a forest, there's a lake. Okay, let me gather all the stock image, and boom, you're done. Right, now number two. Number 2, we are going to bring in a cliff.
Okay, cool. And I'll just also mention as well, we are live. So if there's any questions as we're going along, happy to answer them if you have any questions. Otherwise, sit back.
All right, so we have this cliff. So I'm just imagining, okay, so the cat saw the spaceship going down. And then what happened is that it was like, you know what? So it's like middle of the night, transitioning to the morning view. So imagining this cat actually took the trip to, I'm gonna go find out. So it takes some time for cat. You know how cat is, right? On the way, probably just lie down, take a rest, and then play with some water and whatever not. Okay, so the next scene is it found that person who's inside that particular spaceship. I'm going to bring in our mask here, which is the cat. So I'm gonna just select subject. All right, cool. Again, all these tools like, generative field, select subject, saving so much of time rather than go in there and select myself. So I'm gonna just mask it. I'm gonna resize it and put it there. I might adjust a few things, maybe later, move this down. So it's working, but what's behind
So
it?
just before you move on, just with the layers and the artboard, if you could bring that up again. Yeah, just in case anyone's missed that.
Which
'cause
one
I don't
again?
think
The
this is,
artboard?
yeah, over to the side, like, because as you said before, someone might have missed it before, but as hopefully everyone can see, is the previous artboard on the artboard number 1 has its own like
Yep.
layers and everything like that can be compressed, which Ramesh just did. And then
Yep.
now you're on a new layer in the exact same file, but you're in a different artboard and it has its own layers, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't think this is common knowledge. I think this is fairly like unknown, like hidden feature.
Sure. So okay. So if you ask me, how is this super useful? Which I use a lot. My colleagues know, if you're watching, they will know. They will be like, oh yes, artboard, banners, social media.
Right.
There's LinkedIn, there's Twitter, there's X, there's Threads. All these have different sizes. And if you want to just save one file for each, that's crazy. Imagine if you don't use smart object, right? So if you change one copy in your artboard, it will reflect on all the different sizes. All you have to do, maybe the positioning you have to change because of the vertical and horizontal. But artboard, most of the time in my company, we use it to do social media banners. So it's super helpful. At one go, you can zoom out and see, okay, this amount of banners and things that you can also talk to your boss or your marketing team. We have 10,000 different sizes. Can we reduce them now? Are those banners really working? Do people click on it? So this is how you actually communicate with your team here.
Yeah, no, it's a really good point, and it's probably very valuable in lots of other instances like branding and things like that, or if you have your own, logos that might need to be changed, or clients that you are often doing sort of similar but different things that you might need to go back in and change. Really useful.
Yeah. So artboard. So you can hide it anytime you want. You don't want to show your client first because it's work in progress. You want to give a surprise. You can do that. And then artboard, each of these have its own PSD files, layers, and also this. So it's all like occupied in a way. It's all grouped. You can always name your artboards like layers. So we are now working on artboard number 2. Artboard number 1 is safe. You can always like go back and have a look at it and you're like, okay, cool, that's nice. And then next, right now we're working on artboard number 2. I'm gonna bring in this person. Let's flip it. Again, even flipping, I remember back then I was like, file, rotate. Now all you have to do is contextual bar, you just press, it's done. So I'm gonna just select this particular astronaut and mask it, and I shall resize it. Now, another thing, when it comes to two, because right now we know there's only one cat over there, and when there's 2 person, you need to know how big the person should be versus the cat. So this is where real life size calculation comes in. So I want this person to walk here, and that's the reason why I choose this cliff. Okay, so I'll tell you in a bit. So I have this cat. I know the cat is very large, so I should reduce it. Put it near the foot to see if that works. I think that's a slightly fat cat, which I love it. So I'm gonna just put it. All right, cool, nice. So at the back of my head, I was thinking, in this movie, I want to have the color schemes like, Blade Runner, Dune, so that it's visually stunning and cinematic. The overly used word cinematic. I was thinking, okay, since it's in the morning, right? I want it to be like really early in a sunrise time. So I am gonna bring in this and put it in the bottom. Oh, one thing I forgot to do, the cliff, I supposed to mask it. I haven't masked it, so I'm gonna do that very quick, right? So as easy as this. I press W, and it knows that I'm selecting the cliff. Then let's on the sunrise, and let's make the sun really huge here. All right, nice. Now, I can give everything to AI to get things done, which most of the time I don't because I want to own that particular effect. So for cliff, I want to do a manual change. So I'll show you another trick. Remember satin, the one I did for spaceship? I want to use for the
The
cliff.
overlay. Yep.
Yeah. And then satin. And then if you see if it's blue color, obviously because it remembers from the last usage that we have done, obviously it's not supposed to be blue. So we can always change it. So again, it's cliff, it can be brownish, dark. So I'm doing that up a bit. Okay, that's good. Okay,
I
cool.
missed a question before. Sorry about that. Dino
Yeah,
asked
sure.
a question, so I might throw it in now if that's okay. Where do you get those effects, the .pngs, Adobe stock? Yeah. So where do you get your stock? You're bringing in a lot of things off screen, I think. And the question is, where do you get your stock from?
Okay. So there are many sources out there. So if you're a person who already have Adobe stock, you can use that. Most of the time, I use Unsplash, Pexels, because again, you are working on a draft. You don't have to literally buy the particular image and then use it, right? What if it didn't get approved and you just wasted your money unless it's within your budget? Unsplash, free stuff where you can just go in there and grab it, and like the sun is from there, right? Like I would utilize it in a way that where can I see everything all at once and just grab something and put it in here. Why? Because not sometimes, most of the time I don't use it the way it is. Like I said, spotlight doesn't look like spotlight when I put it onto the picture. You move things around.
I use Unsplash a lot as well. It's very useful. And as you said, like, you know, when I'm working on a project for a client or something like that, and I usually will buy the assets right at the end. You know, once they've confirmed, I'm like, okay, cool. This is like mostly placeholder, but we're going to have to license some stuff if we're ever going to actually use it. So always be aware of that. But
Okay, cool. Let me do that one more time. So satin. So in order to do effects on this particular cliff, there are many ways to do this. One of the thing that we can do with effects is that satin. You can on it on. And then if you notice, this is actually also a magical thing. Because my arrow is actually in a moving cursor, like I press on V before I go to satin, I'm able to move the shadows. I'm not sure if you guys have seen this before. This is probably something new, but yeah.
Haven't seen this one, no.
Crazy. So you can actually tell Photoshop, okay, I want the shadow to be above or below, whatever it is, but you can invert it if the light is coming from the front. Right now, obviously, it's inverted. So I am gonna just move this like this and then have a bit of light on top. So how do I do that? There's also a preset called contour. Contour here you look at the cliff, right? It will change according to the different algorithms or the patterns, right? So I use that a lot. So here, I want to move things around like this is good enough. Just a bit of like little shade on top, and I need to change the color scheme. Why? Because there's sun over there. It doesn't make sense to be black, so I am gonna just make it slightly warmer. Okay, let's add in more stuff. New layer, normal to soft light. And I want to have this darker shades even here. It's like it's too harsh, the sunrise. It has to be darker, right? It doesn't make sense. So I am going to go to gradient, choose gradient. Can you see the color palette here is blue because blue is selected. Just press D if you want to get a black and white color palette. There you go. So since this is soft light and it's masked within the cliff, I can now add in shadows like this. Can you see that? Let me go before and after. So I'm doing a manual change. And now comes the helpful stuff. Now you'll probably be like, great, now I have to do the same for the astronaut and the cat. Well, you don't have to. Why? Because let's convert this to smart object very quick, both of them. You can go to the cat and just press harmonize. So what it does is that now it's like, okay, cool, the cliff is dark, something to help me out. There's a hot sun. Let's see if I have what I have in my mind. Okay.
I'll be interested to see what the anchor point is. Is it going to be everything really bright or really dark or somewhere in the middle? It's going to be
Because the sun is already there. By right, it shouldn't be too bright. But how does the AI works here? Let's see.
Let's see.
All right. All
So I just
right.
blended the cat in with the foreground.
Yeah. There
Pretty
you go.
much.
Yeah.
Some highlights, a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit of
And
highlight.
it's a bit like, or if you ask me, the cliff does not match. Like I said, it helps you until certain point, you have to take charge. But don't worry, why? We still haven't looked at two more options. Okay, this is like the perfect one. This is what I have in mind. All right. Okay, cool. Next, let's go to astronaut. And okay, you'll probably be asking, Ramesh, if both of them are walking at the same phase, can't you just merge them into one smart object and just put and harmonize and you're done? Well,
Right.
you can. That's a great question. I can do that, but I just want to test it out whether this particular effect that's already been applied in the cat is applied the same for the astronaut, just to see if the calculation works. That's why I'm doing that. Harmonize again. Let's see if this astronaut is fixed with the correct lighting. But again, I'm a person who go in there and do manual work, which I'm going to do right now. I'll show you why. Because I need to bring in more depth for the cat and the astronaut, but let's see. Also, look at the helmet. That's a reflection of actual like an outer space. It fixed for you.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So
Light source, like the understanding of light source is huge, I think.
Right. Yeah. And then, okay, so we have preview one. Oh, this is good too. This is good too. This is good too. Okay, pretty nice. But I am not happy. So what I'm gonna do is I press on cat. I want to bring in more shadows. So I'm gonna go in here, quickly select the background. Okay, here again, change normal to overlay. So what's happening here? I choose the masking outline from cat, create a new layer right on top, off on top of the harmonize, and I want to bring in the shadows even better. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see, my flow is a bit low because I don't want it to be too harsh. This is
This
where
is one of those sort of very subtle changes, but you're
yes,
blending the background and the subject.
yeah. Even though it's tiny, I can tell you the satisfaction of like, oh my God, like it shows how passionate you are. Else you're just doing it, oh, you know what, it's just art. No, it's your art. It has to speak to you. So that's super important. So I can show you why is this important, okay? Okay, without this, I don't know if you guys can see, boop, 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 boop. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me zoom in even further in. There you go. It creates a different story already. It's like realistic. Okay, so even for the astronaut, I think we have enough time. I'm gonna go change to overlay, and I'm gonna bring in the light even more because I want it to be dramatic. Oops, I did not change the where am I? Above, sorry, my bad. So I'm gonna select the astronaut. So what I'm doing, I'm going to astronaut layer, press on, I think this is a command or control. You get the small little outline here, like that. Don't do it right. You can do it on top or whatever not, but because harmonize is there, I want to do it right on top of it. Change overlay, and then I'll bring in the dramatic lighting. Because you need to know that the sun is that area. And then just a rough one so that it looks more embossed like. Okay, and then here, of course, I'm not touching this area because we know the light did not reach there. Okay, cool. I would love to put in more brightness going in here, especially here. Okay, I should erase. This is manual work, but it's really enjoyable to do this. All right, cool. All right. So what is this one? That is okay. Cool.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference, doesn't it?
Yeah. Let's zoom in here, and I'll show you the difference. I'll just group this, pop, 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 right? So
Yeah.
better and nice. Okay, so now, of course, as a color drop, there's more things to do actually. Which I really want to do it now in this. If I forgot. Okay, shadow is super important, guys. So very easy to do this. Use your polygonal lasso, right? Go in here and just do this. I love shadow. So
Seems simple.
yeah, seems simple. Put in the dark. There you go, like that. Don't worry about the sharpness. You know why? Because we gonna blur it. Motion blur. Okay, just look at the shadows, right? Go in here. Look at the directions, how you want it to move. There you go, and just need to reduce the opacity.
You reduce the opacity so that a little bit of the texture of the cliff comes through. Yeah, cool.
And then let's do the same for the cat. So cat has 4 legs. So what you're going to do is, because the sun is there, I'm going to follow the same pattern as this, but like this. And that. And then you can brush it if you want to, whichever that's easier. There you go, a bit, and then we're gonna just motion blur it because we already have the same motion blur effect here. They use some calculation for this as well. So let's put in motion blur. Done.
It just redoes the previous effect, doesn't it?
Correct.
It's been in Photoshop for a very long time, that feature. Yeah.
And then done. And then now here is the last drop,
Color
which
lookup.
is color lookup. So let's go for the here. Which one works well? I don't know yet. Oh, nice. Okay. There's few. 3D strip will enhance the color. Okay. So there's also soft, warm-like, but I want more intense. Ooh, this is nice. Okay. So I'm gonna use late sunset, but it is sunrise. So, but I want to have more yellow. So again, in your control, your color balance, increase the yellow. Can you see before and after? Here. And a bit of red. All right, cool.
Wow.
We done 2 color palette. I don't think I have time to do number 3, but
No, I don't think we have time for a third one, but yeah, that's amazing.
But I have it ready. Okay, I'm gonna show you the 1 and 2 that I did yesterday at home. So can
cool.
print. Because I have more time, can you see it's more effects?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Right? So this is from yesterday. This is today. So you can see the difference because I put in more time, right? So, but then again, within 50 minutes, we did this. There's also scene number 3, which I want to show you guys. Any idea, Flynn? What do you think scene number 3 is?
Is it a horror film or is it a comedy or what?
It's adventure.
Okay, maybe they're settling down for the night, over a fire or something like that.
Nice.
I don't know.
That's very nice. Okay, so
They found some friends.
Okay, if there anybody else want to say, I don't know, but
yeah,
the story is that
they found a home.
Left alone, so the family, like Home Alone thing. The family forgotten about the cat, and then like I have no friend actually. I should look for one. And then the astronaut like, what? And he's playing with if I zoom in, that's actually a butterfly. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And all this has PSD. It has its own layer. Meaning all this is all using exact same trick that I use for Harmonize, which I'm going to show you guys. There you go. Since we don't have time, but I would love to show you all these are exactly how I did the other 3. This butterfly is separate, so that to show you guys is literally layer by layer.
Yeah.
There's no other trick. And yep.
Oh, cool. I love that. I love that the cat was leading the astronaut, not the other way around as well.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense now because it was taking it to its home.
There's one more thing I want to say before I finish. I actually show it to my kids and I was telling them the astronaut is from the space, he's wearing the suit and everything, but why is he wearing a suit when he's on Earth? He's supposed to take it out. And it makes kids think, I don't know, why? Because guess what? It's actually not a person. Like there's an alien in it.
It's an alien in there.
Yeah. So that's the thing.
I like it. I like it a lot. I like it how, it takes kids to ask questions like that, doesn't it? They're just like, hang on, wait a second. That's really cool. I love that. And again, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that aren't aware that artboards can behave in that way in Photoshop. So that's like always a nice little golden nugget. And then I think also one of the main takeaways is really understanding what's happening. Like even a feature like Harmonize, which we'll talk about all the time at Adobe, like look how quickly and easily and how powerful this tool is. If you want to take it to the next level, it's really understanding all the other things around it. Like, kind of gets you about 80% of the way, right? Like often it's very passable. You can get to 70, 80%, but then understanding those extra bits are the kind of creative professional kind of compared to the kind of amateur. So it's always amazing seeing you work and sharing your knowledge with us on Adobe Live. It's been fantastic as always.
Thank you, Flynn. Thank you for giving me opportunity for me to share the things that I've been learning throughout the years. But thank you so much.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And I look forward to having you back on again in the future. That's us for this week. We'll be back in a little bit with some more creatives from around Asia Pacific. Thank you everybody for watching live or watching on demand, however you like to take it in. But we'll see you next time on Adobe Live Asia Pacific. Thanks again, Ramesh.